Keep your friends close, but your enemies closer.
Yo, she-bitch. Let's go.
What's up, YouTube? This is your boy Thomas, back again with another rendition of Truth Be Told. Now, there wasn't really anything major going on politically wise, except for, the demon rats have been exposed with the whole January 6th nonsense. They're pissed. They're taking it out on Republicans because they've been caught red-handed in their lies, and they're trying to cover up for it and all kinds of shit. And they're fucked because they got caught. So they're throwing a fit, especially on them committees and shit. You can watch some YouTube videos that show them, all they know how to do is name call and shit because they know they've been busted. So, anyways, let's get on to what I really want to talk to you about. First thing I'm going to talk to you about, there's a few things. I saw the new Street Fighter 6 thing, and the very first fighting game I'd ever seen was Street Fighter. So I was always a big fan of it. Mortal Kombat came around next. And those are the two top dogs as far as fighting games. Now Street Fighter was popular because it was the first, and it was out for a while before MK came out. When MK came out, it had blood and guts and finish moves, so that made it really popular. Street Fighter didn't have that. Now, after a while, the game came out with some new characters, and one of them was Cammy, this British royal officer who had a beret, long ass pigtails, camo, and she had camo paint painted on her legs. Now that's always been Cammy, always. But in this last one, CapCom went really fucking woke with the character and butchered it really bad. Chopped off her hair, her signature pigtails and hair, completely changed her outfit, put pants on her which looks absolutely asinine. She looks like a butch feminist, and it's horrible, god awful looking. It's not canon. They even changed her backstory, so it's fucking retarded. They fucked up that character really bad. And there's some... the only ones who like this are the simps. And they are simping hard for this feminist fucking butch looking girl. She looks like Billy from Fatal Fury. She just don't have the bandana. It's just retarded. I can't believe they fucked it. One of my favorite characters in Street Fighter, and they fucked her up royally. No pun intended. Anyways, moving on. I just wanted to rant about that because they're fucking, this woke shit needs to end. The next thing, I guess The Last of Us, the season's over. I didn't care for the games. I didn't like them. I thought they sucked. The only reason I'm watching the show is because I have a lot of people on my YouTube and Twitter and shit. They like the game, so they're checking out the show and it's made it popular. But I don't know. I really don't care for it. It's not really. It's boring. The show's boring. It's super over dramatized. I hate that kind of crap. Like I said, the only reason why I'm watching it is because everybody was talking about it. Now, I don't like the show for the most part. It kind of sucks. Because they've only shown, like, throughout the entire season, maybe a minute and 30 seconds of the so-called plant zombie creatures. That's it. Like, there's hardly any scenes with them in there. And that's the star of the show, are these plant zombies. And they don't ever show them hardly. It's just them bitching and moaning and whining and talking and groaning. And that's it. Like the Raiders and the Fireflies. That's all you fucking see. It's dumb. Show the fucking zombies, you dumb fucks. Anyways. Yeah, that's the reason it's boring to me. Fucking boring. Now, episode 8. Yeah. It was okay. I kind of liked episode 8 only because it showed how fucking mental Ellie is. The character Ellie. I mean, she's straight up fucking fucked in the head. And it just showed how much more she is mentally fucked in the head and how she becomes even more mental. This last episode where I know it's in the game, I've already been told about it, where, Joe goes in there and, shoots up the fucking fireflies in the hospital to get Ellie out. Now, they ended off with him fucking lying to her, and I think that's going to backfire later on. Like I said, I played like 10 minutes of the first game, and it was the worst game I ever played. So, well, maybe not the worst, but it was pretty bad. So, I don't know the story. But, apparently, he lies to her at the very, very end of the episode, at the end of the season. So I think that's going to come back to bite him on the ass for lying to her. Even though if she understands why he did it, it's going to bite him in the ass. He should have just told her straight up they were going to fucking kill your ass. So that's why he got her out of there. But nope, whatever. Like I said, I'm not really digging the show. And I know there are people who are simping hard for the show because they were fans of the fucking game, which I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't get it because the game sucked. But anyways, and that's just my personal opinion. I just did not like the game. The show I can't dig because they're not showing the zombies. They're just, it's a bunch of over dramatized bullshit between the people, and it's just retarded. I want to see zombies, not fucking them whining and bitching and moaning and crying and bickering over stupid shit. Anyways, That's my take on it. I figured I'd give you an honest review on it instead of these simps. These YouTubers who are simping for the fucking show because they were fans of the fucking game. It's so fucking dumb. You know, I want to slap Gary and fucking Yellow Flash and D-Day Cobra, Jeremy. You know, fuck. You don't be stupid. Don't simp for something because you like the game. So dumb. You know, just straight up tell you how it is. The show sucks. Plain and simple. It's too over dramatized. Anyways, moving on. I did go ahead and finish watching The Walking Dead seasons 4 through 6. Now, at the beginning of season 4, you know, they had this flu thing, and it was killing people off. Come to find out, Carol killed a couple of people to keep it from getting worse and spreading. Later on, you know, they have to leave the prison because, you know, the governor comes back and then fucks everything up. And they have to kill him and his goons. That's the end of the governor. Then they're on this fucking trip of finding this town called Terminus. They all get split up, and you see individual episodes for a little bit until they all get back together. They lose. Beth gets kidnapped. They eventually all get to Terminus. Glenn actually meets a couple of people, which brings in Abraham and the other two, and they join up and they all get to Terminus, find out these fuckers are cannibals. They thanks to Carol, she helps out even though she was kind of banished. She comes back and helps them out to escape Terminus. They pretty much destroy Terminus. They find this church and this priest who's a fucking huge coward. And then some of the Terminus people show up, try to kill him off. That doesn't work. They kill them. They split up again. Glenn and Maggie goes with Abraham and his crew to fucking go to DC for a cure. Come to find out, there is no fucking cure. There's nothing going on in DC. What's the guy who's... I can't think of his name. Eugene or whatever the fuck his name is. He's making it all up to survive. Which really pisses Abraham off. Nearly kills him. Anyways, they go back to the group with Rick and them. They all decide that they're going to save Beth. So they go to this city. I can't remember where. I think it was Atlanta or something. They go to save Beth, and Beth gets killed. But they save a couple other people. Then they leave there. It was some weird hospital, and the cops are running. This one bitch was running it. She didn't know what the fuck she was doing. She was insane. She's the one who killed Beth. Anyways, they get out of there, and this other group shows up and gets them to go to their town where these people have no idea how to survive. Rick kind of starts training them, but some shit goes down with one of the people. He ends up killing him because he kills somebody else in the group. This woman who's running the place kills her husband, so he kills him. And then the black dude, Morgan, the nutty dude, he shows up again at the very end of that season. Then season 6, it kind of tells us a little bit about what Morgan went through, and he's kind of changed a little bit. Now he thinks he needs to, save everybody. They run across another group called the Wolves. They're just, scavengers or whatever. They try to come into the town and fuck it up, and they end up getting their asses killed. The Wolves do, and kind of fuck shit up. Then they actually end up letting some of the dead come in, a large group of them. Daryl gets involved with a couple of people, nearly gets killed, but he makes it out of there. And then he keeps running into this one guy who keeps fucking shit up with him, someone that he saved, and then he keeps fucking messing with Daryl. They have this doctor, and she ends up getting killed by that guy, and Daryl goes running after him, trying to chase him down, kill him. Carol don't want to stay at the fucking town that they now live in because she thinks she don't belong there, blah blah blah. Morgan goes chasing her. Well, Rick and Morgan, but then Rick goes back, Morgan keeps chasing her. Most of them pretty much get back together, and they find this other group, this other town, supposedly, that's been doing trading with other towns, and they decide that they're going to trade with them from now on. All they have to do is kill this other group that's been harassing them and stealing their shit. So they go wipe out one of their bunkers or whatever, outpost of a group called Negan. They go to kill that, and they think there's this guy named Negan, which they eventually do find him. But when they go to kill this outpost, Maggie and Carol get captured. They end up having to fight their way out of there, killing a bunch of the group members of Negan. And Rick and them catch up, and they know that they're going to have to stop Negan because Negan's coming for the group. But when Maggie's fixing to have a baby towards the end of the season, and they're trying to get her to the doctor of this other group that they've been helping fight off Negan. But unfortunately, Negan has way more men than Rick's group, and they kind of trap him, capture him, and then at the very end of the season, you see Negan kill somebody with his little bat, and that's the end of the season. So these 3 seasons were okay. They weren't that bad. It's just with The Walking Dead, you kind of have to take a break for a little while because I don't know, it's just really, again, at least they show the zombies quite a bit in this show. They don't do a whole lot of over dramatizing, but they do a little bit. you know, between the people. But a lot of times it's just rinse and repeat. They're always having to go to another place, a new location, because of some other group. There's always some other group involved. They end up always getting a fight with them most generally, and then they end up having to fucking find a new location because the zombies come in and fuck the place up. Rinse and repeat. Do it again. So that's why I say you kind of have to take a break. You can't watch too much of The Walking Dead straight through all the time. That's why I'm doing it in sections of 3. So I still got some more Walking Dead to watch, but it'll be a little bit before I go watching it again. Like I said, I gotta take a break. It's a decent show for what it is. Like I said, it's starting to get, for me anyway, it's starting to drag out a little bit. That's why I said I'll probably wait a little while before I watch the next 3 seasons. But otherwise, it's a decent show for a zombie show so far. I give it 2 thumbs up. Check it out if you want to. You just got to take a break from time to time.
Then I dash away from Popo. Yeah, sex around my grass, they want my dodo. But I keep a 40, they don't know, no.
Okay, movie-holics. Let's get on to your B-movie reviews. This week is Sci-Fi Week. Now, I chose an older movie that's actually 4 freaking hours long. It's basically 2 movies. They just split it in 2 because, you know, they used to, back in the day, they would do a part 1 and part 2. That's basically what this is. Now, there used to be action-packed movie night where they would show a few different movies for the month, like 4 different types of movies. And they did this for a couple months, and then they asked the audience to vote on which movie they wanted to become a series. This is where the show Hercules came from. They were doing movies, and then you know, the people, the audience, they voted that they wanted Hercules to become a series, and it did. This was kind of similar. They were, but this was done by the Magical World of Disney, is what it was called, where they would show certain movies. Basically, they were all pilots for series. And this one was a pilot that just never got off the ground. And I kind of know why. I know there's some people who liked it back then. It was done in 1988, and it was called Earth Star Voyager 1. Basically, they were trying to do a space camp, but more in the future. That's basically what it was. You ever seen the movie called Space Camp in the 80s? That's basically what they were doing. The reason why I think the show didn't do so well, it didn't become a series, was because they had a bunch of teeny boppers running The crew was pretty much all teenagers, or very, very young people, like in their early 20s. But you had these space cadets who they put on this ship to go to scout another world that was similar to Earth, because the population on Earth was just too massive, and all the resources were drying up, and you had acid rain and shit like that. It was just, Earth was going bad, and they needed somewhere else to repopulate. However, there was people, also another group that felt that you know, the people of Earth had their chance and they should be taken care of, wiped out, and that this group on the ship should become the new colonizers and restart the human race on this other planet. So the first 2 hours, I don't know. It basically shows that there's a mutiny on a ship that went out before this one, and it was crewed by adults. And there was a mutiny, but they need this group, this admiral. He needed the ship to destroy Earth, and the ship got damaged really bad, so he knew he even needed a second ship or second attempt. But it got damaged during the mutiny. Two people survived out of it. At least that's what it looked like. You later find out most of the crew survived too, including the guy who caused the mutiny. When they first land on the planet, or not on, I think it was a space station. I don't quote me on that because I'm not really sure. Like I said, I think it was a space station. I can't really be sure, but I'm guessing that's what it was. That's what it looked like to me anyway, was a space station. And the space station looked like a carnival. And they find out that the guy who caused the mutiny is there, and he's running like this, I don't know, like Thunderdome kind of shit, where he's got a bunch of fighters, and they're all fighting all the time for his position, which is leader of this weird ass place, like a space station, the carnival type thing, Thunderdome shit. I don't know. It's weird. But he has this wrist bracelet that does it like some kind of sonic pulse or some shit, knocks people on their ass. So he kind of cheats. They all get captured, but then the captain from the previous ship, they found him, and he comes aboard and gets cleaned up, and he kind of joins the crew. Well, he goes with them onto the space station because there was a distress call, and they all went there, and they were lured there supposedly. So they go there, and he ends up fighting the guy who mutinied against him, and after a long fight, he ends up defeating him. And they all take off and go back aboard the ship, bringing a couple extra people with them from the space station, which they call OTC, Outlaw Technical I can't remember what it stands for. It's Outlaw Tech Company or some shit, corporation, whatever. They get back in the ship and they take off. And that's pretty much the end of the first one. Then the second part, or the second movie, they're basically trying to stop the Admiral from building this huge weapon that's going to destroy Earth. But the ship is part of the missing puzzle piece that's supposed to make this big weapon by using the power of like 2 suns or some shit in this particular solar system that they're passing through. They do run across the old captain's ship. They check it out and they find, I don't know, he's like some kind of cyborg, kind of like the Borg from Star Trek. And apparently the OTC's been building these cyborgs or whatever for various reasons. But anyways, they find one on the old ship. They bring it aboard, and of course you knew what was going to happen. I mean, he goes through and destroys a bunch of shit. Eventually burns out or whatever. He gets killed, dies. And then they eventually show up to the place that they're supposed to show up, where the construction of this giant ship, which Voyager 1 is a part of, to make this weapon for the Admiral. And they could figure a way to turn their supposed antenna arrays or some shit, turn it into some solar laser weapon, and they destroy the construction. And then they have to deal with this ship that the Admiral's been using to track him. They make this some type of rail gun, and they use it to kill or destroy, well, it doesn't destroy the ship, but it badly damages the Admiral's ship so they can get away and continue on their mission to this Earth-type planet. And that's the end of the movie. So, I mean, it was okay. I actually found it kind of boring. There wasn't really hardly any action going on. Bunch of talk. They take out, they had a couple cute girls on there, like the blonde and the brunette, but the dark-haired girl, I don't know if she was Latino or Native American or whatever. She was the best looking girl, and she was out for most of the movie. Like, she was having something to do with, they had a saboteur, and they found out who it was pretty early on, but the saboteur screwed up her cryo sleep, which it was kind of cheesy. It didn't even look like a cryo sleep bed. But anyway, they screwed up her cryo sleep, so they didn't know if she's going to pull through or not. So she was out of commission through most of the movie, which sucked because I liked her the best. Anyways, it was really cheap and cheesy, and it just, I don't know. Like I said, it was okay, but it was kind of boring. So I kind of understand why it didn't get through. Like I said, I think it was because it reminded me of what the fuck is that? The 100 from CW, where it's all teenagers that's running everything. That's so fucking dumb. Same concept, you know. Pretty much it was just a bunch of teenagers running this ship, and I'm just, they almost the entire crew was teenagers, and I'm like, no, I don't give a fuck how long it's going to take them. 12 years, I think it was said, to get to this other planet. Seriously, you're just going to let a bunch of teenagers, cadets, run the ship? No, I don't think so. Yes, they had an adult captain when they first got on the ship, but they killed him right off the bat. And it just ended up being these teenagers until they picked up the old captain. He was pretty much the only adult. Everybody else was these teeny boppers.
Keep your friends close,
Check it out
but your enemies
if you want to, if you just want something to watch. That's fairly decent. Other than that, that's how I felt about it. Alright, so that's all I have for you this week. If you have any thoughts about what I talked about earlier in the video, please leave your thoughts down in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear from you. If you have any suggestions, you know, B-rated flicks, movies, television, you know, something you think I may never have seen or may never have heard of, please leave your suggestions down in the comment section down below, and I'll get to reviewing them as soon as I can. So until next time, I told you you'd be told the truth, and you just been told.